Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. So tonight I have been eagerly awaiting this particular event. But before I get into all of that, I just want to say hi to some people in the chat, etc., make sure Mike's good, all that stuff. So, hey, what's up, Spencer? Let's see, we've got Steve, Canadian. Oh, hey, Canadian Chris. So, Chris, family has been loving all of the random stuff that you sent along in that box as well. So, Chris sent me a bottle of the Lot 40 Dark Oak. Which I ended up drinking actually last weekend with a friend, because whenever I crack a new bottle, I like to have somebody else around, unless I don't have an option, but I love to have somebody else around because I tend to have kind of a skewed view of, just from drinking all of this over time. And it's nice to have somebody else there because then I can see their reaction and hopefully have that become your reaction. So it was interesting when we tried this, and I'll eventually do a video on it. I know I'm going into Irish Whiskey Month, and this is obviously a tangent, but I kind of like it, so we're going to go with this. But I know it's Irish Whiskey Month, but we're going to take a minute to talk about Canadian whiskey, and then we'll go talk about what we're doing. But we were both of the opinion that although it was one of the best Canadian whiskeys that we have had, Found North not included in that, it still had that flavor that Canadian whiskey has, where it's like the aftertaste, where it's almost like a fake caramel. And I was just like, no, why does that have to exist? But anyway, we both liked it quite a bit. So I'll definitely be reviewing that one, but I just have to say, I think Canadian whiskey might just not be my thing. Anyway, so Chris, in an ingenious method of shipping, most of us put, packing peanuts or those little air bubbles that you get from Amazon. Chris filled the box with potato chips in bags, and it made an awesome little buffer. And what was cool is that a lot of these potato chips are ones that we can't really get around here, or at least I've never really seen them. For example, like ketchup flavored Lay's potato chips. There was like a bacon something or other. What we've actually decided to do, Chris, and I promise I'll get off this whole thing, is both my kids love potato chips, so we're gonna have like a smorgasbord this weekend, which is gonna be really good because we're gonna get about a foot of snow tomorrow, and we're gonna put them all out and we're gonna try them all and see which ones we actually like. So thanks again, Chris, very awesome, and I really appreciate the bottle. All right, so let's talk barrel picks. Now, the last time I did a barrel pick was, I think, at the start of the pandemic. I think it was the start of the pandemic, because I remember it was hard to get the samples. I had to have them shipped, and there was really no option to go over to 3 chord. But in this case, I'm also not going to be able to go over to the location, but things are a little different. And what I wanted to go for, I had a point I was trying to make. What I wanted to do this time around with the barrel pick is have you all involved and see what it's actually like. Because you see a whole lot of your whiskey tubers that you follow doing barrel picks. A lot of us are doing them now. I've still only done the one, and a lot of that, we'll talk about it tonight, but I was very put off by the whole process. But I'd like to get into it now. So what I wanted to do is invite you guys to kind of come along and see what we do to do these barrel picks and just kind of be part of it. So at any given time, I meant to do this earlier, so please forgive me for doing this. I am going to do, this is nope, not community. I want to put up a poll. Yeah, here we go. Start a poll. So here's what I'm going to do. I think I can have 5 options. I can only have 4. Oh, that stinks. All right, well, whatever. We're gonna do 4, 5, 7, 6, 1. These are gonna be the numbers of the barrels: 13137, 13453, 13453, and then I'm gonna leave this. What sounds the best? Cool. I'm gonna leave this poll up here, and I'd like you to wait to add anything. I'd like you to wait to vote until after you hear kind of a little bit about them, and I'll definitely consider your feedback in which one I select. Might not necessarily be the exact one because I want to make sure that it's like for everybody, but I think this will be a cool way. There's only going to be one on here that isn't included on the poll, but we'll talk about it, and if that's the one that you'd like, just throw it in the chat. So, which distillery am I picking from? Well, here's the parameters that I wanted to set for myself. So I wanted to pick something that wasn't going to cost $100 a piece for you guys, although that is also kind of in the works with another distillery. I wanted to pick something that was going to be a little less expensive so everybody could kind of get in on this. With the 3-cord that I did, I ended up selling the bottles for $50 a piece. I think they cost me, I want to say $35, $39, something like that. So I made like a $10 profit on each one. And when you figure everything else in and the couple of bottles that broke, honestly, I made very little money off of it, but I didn't care because it was a fun experiment. And frankly, I'm not going to be doing the volume that, like, say, the Mash and Journey club does. It's not about making money. I want to pick cool stuff and have you guys actually be able to get it. So that's the plan. I've been told that this will be a fairly inexpensive bottle, although I don't have numbers for you yet, so I'm hesitant to put anything out there, but probably under 50. Anyway, at long last. So I have teamed up with Starward, which is an Australian whiskey company, which I've talked about a few times on the channel, and I've actually done a few reviews with them. And the reason I picked them, there's actually 2 reasons. Number 1, I think to my knowledge, either there have been none or possibly only one other person who has ever done a single barrel in the US from Starward. So this will be something very, very new. And when I talked to them, that was the impression that I got from them is, we're super excited to bring this to the States finally as a single barrel concept. This is great. Who do we even work with over there? Like, they didn't know everything that there was to do with this either. So we've been kind of learning from each other, which is fun. So I have 5 different samples from Starward, and I have some graphics I'll be throwing up on the screen so that you guys aren't just listening to me talk about this. You'll be able to read some of the information that we get, because again, transparency. I wanted to show you what I get so that you could kind of see. So I have 5 different bottles here, and we're going to go through all 5 of them, and we should be able to do this in an hour. And I have some water, so we'll be able to kind of palate cleanse. But let me take just a second to check out the chat, see what's going on. Let's see. I'm on record now that I liked flavored popcorn series. Okay. Oh, hey, Sugar Cookie. What's up? Hey, Eric. Wait, what's up? Nice to see you. Seems sometimes distilleries try to push off lesser casts to people who want it. That is true. So Eric brings up a really good point. Basically, is that if you're doing a single barrel, sometimes they're going to send you junk, right? And that is definitely true, and I saw that when I did the 3-cord pick. The first batch that they sent me, I was shocked. I didn't like any of them, and I think it was like 7 different samples. So I had to go back and I said, look, I didn't like any of these, and I'm not sure that this is going to work out. And then they sent me 5 more, and 2 of those 5 were stellar. One of them was what you guys have purchased. So no worries there. I'm super happy to just say no if none of these are good. And to that end, or to that point, maybe none of these are good. I have absolutely no idea. But let's get into drinking, because it's Friday. It is 8 o'clock, 8:10. And I wanted you guys to drink along with me. So if you are holding off sipping, thank you. Very kind of you. Let's go ahead and pull up some of these barrel details here. So here's the... actually, sorry. It would help if I brought it up. All right, so here's the barrel specifications of barrel number 5761. Now, there are... Ooh, that was hard to open. Fail. I am going to pour a certain amount of this, and then I'm probably going to do a couple more tastes off camera where I can really take a little bit more time. But tonight is going to, be quite a bit of something cool, I think. All right, so here's some information about it, and you guys can see this up on the screen, but anybody who just happens to be listening while you're working. So this is barrel number 5761. It is... I'm going to skip most of this stuff. It's aged in American oak. The barrel type is from fresh red wine, because what you may or may not remember from Starward is that they work with local Australian red wine companies, and that's their whole thing. They do a Solera system, which is kind of a way of feeding whiskey from one barrel into another just repeatedly and reusing the barrels, which is cool because once you've emptied the barrels, you now have that little tiny bit of the previous batch. It's kind of like a sourdough mix or like a Solera system. So in this case, the idea is you've always got a little bit of everything that's ever gone through that barrel. Now, obviously they do switch out the barrels on occasion, but the whole system is very different than this is a brand new oak barrel and we're using it one time and then sending it to Scotland, something like that, which you get with your bourbons. All right. So this 3.5 years old, 55.9%, 111.8 proof. And generally, we should be getting banana, elderflower, and general floral notes. All right. So let's go back to our scene here. and I will leave this up so that you guys can kind of see what I'm drinking as time progresses. All right. Bear with me. I'm figuring this out. All right, cool. So, on the nose, it smells very like a light caramel so far. And then that banana that was mentioned in the notes is prevalent. So far, not really a whole lot of red wine influence here on the nose. You guys will have to let me know if the microphone's a little too close to the nosing. Yeah, Eric brings up like Solera systems are a little bit more like an infinity bottle, which is kind of the same concept. But with an infinity bottle, presumably you might finish it someday. So on the nose, immediately I'm not just like wowed, which is definitely something I'm looking for. I find that not a strong nose, but like a great nose is something that really gets you excited. If any of you have watched the episode I did on the Gold Spot that came out earlier today, the nose on that was amazing, but the taste didn't follow it, and it was almost more disappointing. So what I'm really looking for, and actually this is probably a good thing to discuss before I take that first sip, what I'm really looking for is I want a nose that's going to get you excited to drink it, but then also that flavor needs to follow. Obviously, it sounds like I need the perfect whiskey, right? But yes, I do. You know, it's not inexpensive to buy a barrel of whiskey, so I want it to be something quality and something that you guys will all buy. All right, so Andrew Butler. I've been on this tasting panel twice for British Bourbon Society picks, so this is kind of familiar. Yeah. All right, so I think what I'm getting here on some of the nose is, so they wrote elderflower. I don't know what elderflower smells like, but it's probably something I should learn. I know a friend of mine has a bottle of something, and I can't remember what it's called. It's like a gold bottle, and it's made from elderflower. Maybe I should take the time to smell it sometime. All right, let's go ahead and have a sip. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday, and thanks for joining me here tonight. Cheers. Very high proof. Okay, so what this is bringing to me, so first off, I would never peg this as a star word, which to me is already going to kind of eliminate it, but I'm definitely holding judgment. I want this to taste like probably their Nova, but to a cast strength version and something awesome. When I taste this, it's very high alcohol and not just a ton of flavor. It does taste... Let me have another sip here, because it's not my first drink of the night. I usually try to have a little sip of something before I go live, but the ABV definitely overtook a little bit there. So let's try this. Okay, elderflower tea is a good way to get the taste of profile. Thank you. Triax. Cool. That's good to know, actually. I will make it a point to get some of that. Okay. Yeah, for me, the taste here is just not there. What this tastes like to me is... Which is... let me even just put this... Unless they are obfuscating their barrel numbers... This is the lowest number barrel that I have, which means it's presumably the oldest, which means it should be the, it should be like a little bit more relaxed, but actually it's it's because it's 3.5 years old. So actually this one, maybe they number backwards, or maybe I shouldn't give so much credence to the number. Either way, I'm super confused. Sorry, hold on. 5761. Yeah. On the little bottle here, it says it's 4 years old, but in the sheet that they gave me, it said it was 3.5. So I don't know what to believe. Which I will make sure all of that stuff is clarified before I sell any of this stuff. But that's interesting to know. The ABV is the same. On here it says whiskey style single malt versus single grain, which is correct. Wood policy STR versus fresh. So I don't know if that just means it's new oak. And wood type is American versus French. So I don't know. Anyway, this one's out. I've been letting it sit on my palate for a little while. It's not interesting. It's just kind of high ABV and it loses a lot. What I think happened here is that the flavors STR. Oh, yes. Thank you. I should know that, Steve. I've seen that before and you'd think I would remember. STR stands for shaved, toasted, recharred. I don't know why I didn't remember that, but hopefully I will now. Anyway, what I think has happened here is that the elderflower flavors and stuff, or whatever, those lighter flavors and the little bit of banana that you smelled, it just get totally obliterated by the ABV. If I watered this down a little bit, it might be better, but I'm not going to do that unless I really feel inspired, because I don't want your first impression sipping this to be, oh, I should add water to it. I want it to be, holy crap, that's a great cast strength. All right. So number 5761 most likely is out. Let's go ahead and move over to number 5778. All right. So this one is American Oak, fresh red wine, 4 years, 56.3%, 112.6. And it should be wafer, vanilla, and red currant, or currant, however you say that. I wonder if those candies are like more prevalent, more common in other countries. Because man, these are hard to open. Or maybe I just need to start going to the gym more. Or at all. Holy crap. There we go. Something about the transport, I think, too, sometimes makes these a little harder to open. All right, let's go ahead and... At least you know that I haven't tried these yet. All right, let's go back to the overall scene. Okay, cool. So we have the Starward, 5778. This one smells a little bit more like what I'm expecting. That's exciting. Man, that actually hurt my hand. My delicate little fingies. Huh. All right, so interesting. I'm not seeing the what did they say? They said sorry, they said wafer, vanilla, and red currant. How do you say that? I should just like confidently mispronounce it, but you know, people that don't know better will just assume that I'm right. Oh, yes, let me pin the poll to the top. Interesting. It should be. Yeah, I mean it's there. Could you please pin the poll at the top? I can't see the chat. I don't quite know what that means. Current. Okay, current. Okay, I'll go with that. Thank you. All right, currant is a common description for Cabernet. That's interesting because I do like I like a nice Cab Sav. I like a bad Cab Sav too. I do like the smell on this one. It's perhaps a little bit more subtle than I would like, but I'm not dinging it on the smell, whereas the other one was pretty clearly out. I wouldn't put this as a Cab Sav though. I would probably I would say, I want to give you guys something so you can, you know, actually know what the hell I'm talking about. Closer to strawberries, but like darker. Not raspberries though. Not cherries. Maybe cherries. Yeah, maybe a little cherry. Rhubarb? No, I'm just trying it out. Like saying it out loud makes it a little bit more in my head, you know. A little sugary, probably what they're getting with that wafer. Okay, well, let's try a sip. Cheers, everybody. That one's pretty tasty. Ooh, that's an interesting finish, too. Interesting. This is really fun, because I kind of have no skin in the game. Like, I could be super critical. Oh, this is actually, I'm enjoying this. All right, so on the taste here, it's a little one tone, maybe two. What it starts off, it's very full body, and it's pretty high ABV. So the... I mean, I think I just have to get used to the fact that it's not going to be the 43% that the Nova is, or 40%, whatever it is. And you're not going to get quite as many of the kind of like the wine notes with the cask strength. part of me almost wonders if maybe I shouldn't do a cask strength of this. Like, I'm inclined to, because it's a single barrel, and what am I going to do? Say, like, hey, water that down for me? Rather let you guys water it down. But if I don't get that right appeal right off the bat, like, with the 3-chord, it's like drinking Old Forester 1920 in a lot of ways. It's like that first sip, you're just like, this is a good whiskey. Holy crap. And I'd like this to be the same. All right. Okay. The taste here, how would I describe this? None of those descriptors that they gave is how I would describe this. This is, are you going to do another round with a few drops of water? I might, Steven. We'll see if anything really just jumps out. Am I really, Sugar Kitty? That's really funny. She says I'm describing the taste of a currant. So, The taste is growing on me a little bit, but I'm still not confident that this would be the one I would put out there with my name on it. So let me, I'm sorry I didn't give you much of a description there. It's like really, really, as soon as you sip it, it's just kind of like, oh, that has kind of like a red wine. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's alcohol. So it's doesn't have any finish to it. I think that's probably a good way to put it. It does have some little bit of red wine, but not really enough to even pick out anything. I'm not tasting any raspberries, any strawberries, any cherries, anything red. But the smell was good. All right, let's have a little bit of water. I do actually have a couple more bottles of the 3-chord. My wife told me I should keep a case for myself. So a case in the case of whiskey, a case is 6. And I think I probably have 4 left. I'm not sure. Yeah. Looks like about 4. So I don't know. I'm not sure. And then I have the one up on the wall that'll be there for a long time until I run out of all of this. All right, let's go. Let's talk about the third one here. So, third one. This is barrel number 13137. I think my family just got home from skiing. All right, so we have a 56 ABV. Sorry, 56%, 112. It's American oak. It's fresh red wine, and it's 4 years. All right, so very similar to the last one. This one's a bit darker, actually, which is great, because that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm really hoping to nail this, what do you call it? Like the profile that I like to think of when I try Starward. Ooh, that smell is really good. Okay, all right, game on. Let's see. All right, give me another second here. It's so sweet. Oh, that smells super good. It's like candy. It's I'm not gonna put it. It's not the current kind of flavor that the last guy said. So red cherry. Okay, perfect. I actually hadn't even seen that, but I love it. Salted caramel, vanilla. So let's see. I get a little bit of the salt, not so much the caramel, but it does have like the slightest. Oh, that's super good. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, please taste good. Please taste good. All right, let's try this because I can't wait. Let me hold on. Wait, I can apparently wait because I'm gonna switch over to here. All right, I'm very excited though. Cheers, everybody. This has very good potential. It's a little bit more drying, like, what's that word? Like cloying something? Cloying, I think. It's like, in a bourbon, I would call it like tannic, but it's not quite that. It dries almost immediately on your palate, but what it leaves is just fresh berries and that red wine flavor. This is super close to what I'm thinking of. I'm hoping it's just going to keep getting better, because so far each one has been getting better. Cloying is sickly sweet. Okay, so not cloying. Astringent was. I always thought astringent was like unpleasantly. Like I always compare astringent to like turpentine. But maybe it's wrong. I don't know. I have a lot of words up in my head. Sometimes I get them confused. All right, I wouldn't say it's cloyingly sweet then, based off some of the... I love it. I love that if you ask the internet anything, and I truly do appreciate it that you guys are helping me out, but I do think it's funny that the chat's fairly quiet tonight, but as soon as I asked if that was the right word, just, you know, this is what it is. So you guys are funny. A lot of people don't like astringency. I'm with you. I like it a bit. Give structure. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so tannic would be the right word here. I'm liking this one a lot, especially on the nose. That nose is exactly what I'm hoping for. All right, so what is it? 8:27. Cool. So we're making really good time here. That's okay, Jason. Like I said, it's not a negative. I asked you guys a question. I just think it's funny. You know, they always say the best way to get an answer on the internet is to make a mistake in your question. All right, so let's go to our next one here. So we've got the barrel details of number 13530, which actually, so I realized, so the sheet that the guy sent, it says 13453 on the sheet, but the barrel number in the sheet says 13530, which means that I have no idea what this actually is. So we're going to go off of the label on the bottle, I guess. I was trying to think of if this has a better name for the size of a bottle, but it's a 100 ml bottle. So this is 3.5 years. It's 110.6. It's 55.3% ABV. It's a single malt. It's got fresh wood policy, and it's American wood type. So it's a very dark one. And that's very good. I am starting to realize that the darker, the better, because I am really trying to get that winey profile. All right, so this is fun. Let me know if you guys like this format, because I actually plan on streaming kind of all of my barrel picks. I have another one coming up, and I'll just tell you guys, it's with Barrel Spirits. I've been talking to them about exactly what I want, and those of you that are patrons saw that I actually polled you guys for, I think I had 10 different choices and asked you guys what you would like me to select. So stuff like that. You know, I've been thinking about the Patreon quite a bit. I have a couple of physical goods that you get at certain tiers, especially the $5 one. There's like a Patreon only challenge coin, which is, I like it a lot. It's actually the color blue of my logo and stuff. I'll get to that in a sec. What did I don't know what she's saying. All right. Anyway, but more so what I try to use the Patreon for is like getting feedback. So I know I don't post in there quite as much as I probably should, but it's because I don't want to just give you guys nothing. I subscribe to plenty of other Patreons, and a lot of them, they post almost too much, and it's like too much noise, and I don't even read most of them. So I try not to be that, but maybe it influences me. So I don't know. If you want to get updates from me like every single day, it's not the Patreon to join. But either way, the money goes to bottle purchases and better gear. For example, I'm looking to buy a brand new computer very shortly. I just got my taxes back. The whiskey business did fine last year, so things should be okay. But Patreon is always nice. So thank you to those of you that are patrons. All right. Anyway, so getting back to this, in case you missed it. So the details on the screen are not accurate to what's on the bottle here. So to that end, I'm actually just going to hide this because I don't want to confuse anything. I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to confuse me. So let's just see what it comes out to. All right. I'm really excited to do Starward. I think it's just, I know it doesn't have the brand recognition of some of the other ones, but what I hope is that you guys will try Australian whiskey with me trying to do like, you know, the 2023 whiskey challenge and trying to get you guys to drink everything other than just bourbons and scotches. I think it's the right choice for the Whiskey Dictionary and myself to try to do an Australian barrel pick. I think that's really cool. But I guess I'm a little bit worried about being like, hey, everybody, guess what I have? And what is that? You know? Jason, I appreciate that. All right, so the nose on this, it it's a little bit hotter on the ABV, but it does have a lot of the same flavors that I'm looking for. So let's see. Actually, I don't think the ABV is in the nose. I think it's just residual. This actually, this might be a good one. Let me smell this compared to that last one. Equal for different reasons. This one has more body to the nose, for sure. It does have a lot of the same characteristics of, hey, this used to be red wine, but they're fuller notes. Not as sweet. I'm not sure. Let me have a sip. All right. Cheers, everybody. I wish it was just like the tiniest little bit sweeter, but it's extremely smooth, like extremely smooth. At 110, so 55.3, in only 3.5 years. That's surprising. So for anybody who doesn't know, in Australia, you only have to age whiskey for 2 years in order to call it whiskey. They do have a law about it, but it's one of the more lenient ones. So this particular whiskey is made in Melbourne, Australia. Anybody who was around at the beginning, it's local wineries throughout, obviously, the incredibly successful Australian wine market. The guy, David Vitale, he is the owner, and he started the company about 15 years ago. That's why I did the Starward Vitalis, I think. And the Starward Vitalis was good, but it wasn't what I'm looking for tonight. By the way, the finish on this whiskey, as I'm talking, it is getting really, really interesting. It's got staying power like crazy. None of the other ones were like this. And what I'm still tasting here are like dried plums, maybe? Which now I'm starting to wonder if that sheet was right, because it did say plum on there. I like this one a lot. This one feels like a commercial product, but like a good one. I wish I could have the taste of this one with the nose of that one, the previous one, but I would be willing to, like, the nose on this is pretty good. So I don't know. Let's see what the last one has for me. All right. Eric Waite wants to do a barrel pick in which he chooses a few barrels and then combines them. That would be something done really, really well at a distillery. Doing that somewhere like here would be very tough. I would have to get out like a hydrometer, some droppers, and really try to dial that in. But that'd be tough, man. You'd need like a lab set up to accurately come back to the company and be like, oh yeah, I did like a splash of this and a sploosh of that. And they, oh yes, a sploosh. All right. So let's get off the sploosh here. All right. So this last one, 13,537. You know what I'm going to do with the poll here. So if you guys, since this one's not on the thing, if I would have known, I would have just left that first one off. But at this point, if you think that this one sounds the best as I'm talking about it, just write it in the comments and I'll kind of keep that in mind too. All right. So this one is 112. Oh yeah, no, this is 13,530. Do I have the wrong one? I do. Did I? Oh yeah, that thing is it just screwed me up. Whatever. All right, let's go back. 13,530. Sorry, the numbers being off really kind of threw this off. Okay, so we'll bring this back up. This is 13,530. So the last one I just had, I guess, would be 13,453. Whatever. All right, 13,530. 55.6% ABV. Yep, so that's accurate. 111.2. This is 4 years old, and it's fresh red wine in French and American. So that's exciting. All right, so let's try this one out. Ooh, that smells interesting. It's not as sweet as the other ones, but it's got depth in the nose immediately. Hold on. That French oak is definitely adding something to this. I love French oak. French oak's fantastic. I think because when I first started drinking whiskey, it was in a couple of the things I tried right away, so I think it like imprinted on me. I'm pretty sure. So Compass Box, Compass Box Oak Cross, if I remember correctly, used French oak in maybe the barrel heads or something. Like that one, it was called the Oak Cross because the barrel was a different kind of oak than the heads. I figure it means marzipan instead of mazapan. Did I? Yeah, I didn't write a lot of these, or actually I didn't write any of these. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the barrel information here. So a modern whiskey first filled into a fresh red wine French oak barrique, big wine barrel, in November 2018, and then transferred to a Demptos American oak in April of 2020. Distinctly starward, this whiskey speaks to the place it's made. All right, cool. Well, if it's distinctly starward, it's probably what I'm looking for. Barrique, thank you. Yeah, you guys got to remember, I'm from near Boston. If there's a word to mispronounce, I'm going to do it unless I've really practiced it. It is all I can do to not just leave my R's out of every word I say. You know, Sugar Kitty, you're right. When I get a clove flavor in any whiskey, it's usually a turnoff to me. Sometimes it's interesting, but it's got to be a very specific combination of flavors to make clove good for me. Usually I'm not happy when I find it. It does stand out very well, though. If you wanted to teach somebody how to taste whiskey, having something with clove in it and telling them that's what they're tasting, that will help a lot. I like the nose on this. So this says plum, clove, and coconut. Oh, that's why you were bringing up clove. All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't taste like that to me. But we'll see. All right, so the nose is acceptable on this. It's not as much of a wow factor as that third one, but it is pretty good. It tastes sweet. It does let you know that whatever you're about to drink is probably going to taste fruity, red, winey, tasty. You know. All right, let's go ahead. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, that's a lot of flavor. To answer your question, Steve, this is 13530. And it's the last one I have. That flavor is still going. It is, wow. Okay. No sign of clove to me. So that's good. The plum and the coconut for sure. Coconut is actually, I would have called that with or without the notes. But the plum, I was happy to have the note there. I do taste it though. It's definitely, I often would say, I would almost have pegged that as a very light molasses, which I get does not sound the same when you hear it out loud, but somehow it is. I don't know. But plum for sure. So less fruity, less like a sweet red wine, more like a darker red wine. Wish I had some of the knowledge of Eric, like a Merlot, maybe. But whatever. I don't need to try to compare it to red wine because I'm going to give the wrong impression here. This one might be a good contender with that third one. What I think I'm probably going to do though is I'm going to go back to the guy and I'm going to say, hey, look, that third one was like perfect on the nose. The taste of the fifth one was really good. Is there any way to combine those two? If not, I think this would probably be my pick, this fifth one here. This one has the most character, but it's not super representative. It says it is, but I don't think that this is as representative of Starward as it could be. But let me have a couple more sips, and actually, I think I will actually add some water to this one. Hey, Emily. Nice to see you. Emily is wonderful. She comments on all of the Dungeons and Drams stuff, and it's wonderful because it helps with the videos. She shows up. She's always there. It's just, I have so much fun with that campaign. If you guys aren't watching Dungeons and Drams, honestly, I'm clearly biased, but I think it is just a really fun time. And although it would be good to have watched from the beginning or to rewatch some of the recaps, I would say you could join any episode and you will have a good time watching us all drink and roll dice. So consider it. Plus, we just hit 500 subscribers, so you know it's not trash. The taste on this one is definitely growing on me. All right, so I'm going to have a little bit of water here. First, yeah, actually, I'll put a drop in what I have left. Maybe 2. Non-chill filtered. I realize it's not much left in there, but that's okay. Can I side by side with 13137? Yes, I will do that for sure. I was actually planning on doing that exactly once I finished with this little taste, so good idea. You nailed it, Emily. Yeah, darker sugars. Ooh, okay. Wow, this has a lot of flavor. And this is, okay, it's 4 years. That's interesting. This one just shot right to the top with 2 drops of water. Maybe the 134 bottle as well. That one sounded pretty good. The last 3 sounded way better than the first 2. Totally agree. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Is the first 2 are, without a doubt, they're just out. They're not what I'm looking for. The nose on the third one was fantastic, followed by pretty good flavor. Like, good enough that I would consider it. The fourth one, lesser of the nose, better flavor. And the fifth one, kind of almost lesser on the nose, but really, really bold flavor. So they're all good for different reasons. This is cool. All right, let me throw this one. I almost said throw this one back, but I was like, I'm not gonna throw it back. It's like a tiny little sip. All right. Now comes the slightly nerdy part here, which I know you all can appreciate. So I will tell you everything I'm doing. That way you guys can help me to make a decision. All right. So let's do this. I kind of like this. Sorry. I have to get organized. Let's move these to the side. So I'm going to close this poll, and then I'm going to put a new one up. So from the poll, in the lead by like a small amount is 13137, which was the third one that I had. So I'm going to end the poll. Cool. And now I'm going to throw up a new poll. And this one's only going to have 3 options. This is 13137. It's going to have 1343353. Yep. Which might be the one that was like a little off, but we'll talk about that. 13530. Okay. Yes. So I will refer to them as these 3 going forward. All right. So don't vote on anything yet. Wait for me to taste them first, even if you have a bias here. All right. I'm going to try all 3 of them with a tiny little bit of water. Sorry for all the noise. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water to each one to see how it evolves. I will tell you off the bat, if I had to pick one, it would be the last one. But I'm still very up in the air. I don't think I'm going to have to ask for more samples, but what I will do is I'll tell the guy what I thought and see if he offers them. Because if he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we have another barrel that's just like that. We'll see what happens. I'm certainly not going to talk myself out of better options, but I am happy with these 3 so far. All right. So, 13137, 13453, and 13530. All right. So, I'm going to stay on this first screen with more of this beautiful face here. All right. So, I added 2 drops of water to each one. So, we're going to start at the lowest number. I love that one of you chuckle fucks already voted. That's okay. So, all right, the nose on the first one, it got even better. It is. Oh, this. I wish I could like take the nose of this and just package it into a candy and just like the inside of like a dark chocolate. Oh, it'd be so good. Yeah, the nose on this is fantastic. All right, let's try the nose. By the way, this works for me. I don't know if it would work for you guys. If you are nosing multiple things, I have found it very effective to make sure that you exhale like kind of from your diaphragm in between nosing. I find it's a way to just totally get all of that out. Maybe that sounds ridiculous, but I don't think so, because you've got kind of that flavored air circulating, I guess, but like doing a nice long exhale, even if nothing else, it gives that little pause in between. So consider trying it, see if it works for you. All right, the nose on this is also really, really good, but again, it's different. It's not as sweet, but it's got like a slight bit more body. So kind of the same opinion as the last time, but the noses on both of these with those 2 drops of water have both changed. And the fact that it was sitting out for a little while. That's a really good nose. Those are really good noses. All right. Man, I hope you guys don't mind listening to me just breathe. Okay. Nose on this is less about red wine, but equally sweet. All right. That's all right, Sugar Kitty. I'll take it. The nose on the third one is really good now too. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna. I'm happy that this is a choice. I'm happy it wasn't just all of these suck. Or boy, I wish I didn't go with this distillery, because I could tell you all 3 of these right now. I'm very happy with. But let's taste. All right. By the way, what do you guys think of the shirt? Very inspired. I also put out a shirt recently, says Only Drams, and it's got the OnlyFans symbol. So if you haven't seen that yet, that's a wonderful little thing. I actually really love the Dram hoodie that I put together recently. It's like a great logo, and my daughter calls me Dr. Am, so I'm like, all right, yeah, call me Doctor. I like it. Hey, Whiskey Mountains. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm very excited to be doing a Starward pick as well. I think the taste on this one, I'm starting to lean towards 13137 now. Slimy all over. Shimmy and a purr. Okay, you guys are doing stuff. There's an inside joke there, but that's okay. Rough Spirits, real quick. So I'm doing a Starward pick, which is an Australian whiskey. I am picking between 3. I've eliminated 2 of them so far. So far, I like them all, but we'll see. The first one is fantastic. About to sip the second one. Nice, John. I like it. Ooh, this is definitely going to come down to... Ooh, that's so good. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. With a little bit of water, or possibly just sitting out for a little bit, the 13453, that one has, in my mind, now taken over the 13137. Here's the reason. With a little bit of water, the flavor not only is delicious right away, but then it like mellows out for a sec, and then the finish comes back strong. It's like... It's a rare thing to have happen, to me at least, in a whiskey where it's got like almost like oh. Yes, that's exactly what it's like on my palate. It's got a lull, and then it's really good. Yeah. There's a reason I didn't go into music. All right, let's take a little sip of water, and then we're going to try a flavor of the last one. All right. Again, nose on this, so good. Yeah, the nose isn't going to win over any of these 3. Okay. And I'm sorry for the lack of like in-depth notes. It's hard to do that on a stream, first time tasting, etc., etc. This one is coming out a little bit more red wine to me. I'm waiting to see if it has that same effect that the middle one has, and then I'm going to drink a little bit of water, and then I'm going to try the middle one again. If it does that whole weird thing again, for sheer like rarity or uncommon effect, like that's going to probably be my leader. As far as flavor goes, like if I'm thinking about, hey, I just bought this bottle, it's from a YouTuber I really like, hey guys, come over, or girls, come over and let's try this. Which one's going to impress the most? And this is something I try to think about as well. So far, this is a tough decision. I love it. I love tough decisions. All right, let's see. Right now, I hate to say it, but I'm almost leaning against the 13530, the third one. It has all of the flavor, but it doesn't have the nose as much as the other two. Well, let's see. Let's try that middle one again, see if it does that thing. It does. It did it again. Oh, this might be the one. This might be the one. Either way, this is a great time. I am very much looking forward to doing the barrel pick as well, so I could try to taste that. That one's going to be wild, though, because they're going to be all very, very different from each other. All right, so how do I make a decision from here, right? So that's the obvious question. Well, the key is that I do not make a decision tonight. But what I do, what I do now is not only check out what you guys put in the poll, which I'll check out in just a sec, but I go try these on my own. And I do it in a nice quiet space, probably right here. Maybe, I don't know, I move the couch out of this room, but I might just chill. And what I like to do is I try it while I'm doing something because, sorry, let me back up. I try it in a completely sterile situation where there's no noise, there's no anything else, and it's just smell and taste. And then I say, what do I like? I try to have a little bit of space in between them so my palate's not shot. And then, I pick which one I like. I'm basically going off how do I taste for the episodes, right? I'm clearly not a single barrel choosing pro. But what I will do after that is I will sit and I'll do something like play a video game or watch a show. Which one is the most drinkable? Because you guys are going to have a whole bottle of this, right? A gimmick is super cool at a tasting, but flavor over time is what is going to make a good bottle. And right now, this one is kind of both. The gimmick of whatever the hell's going on my tongue there is making me a little bit wary to pick this one. Although it would be very cool to have you all be like, did you try that thing from Bill? Like, what the hell was that? I also want you to want to drink the whole bottle. Like, we all have a million bottles on our shelves that were delicious at first taste, but then they just sit there because for whatever reason we don't crave them, right? I crave that 3-chord. Like, the 4 bottles I kept might not be enough. But we'll see. All right, let me go one more round here, and then we'll see. Yeah, no, Adriana, I am not a scientist in the way that you are, but I am an engineer. So thinking through this stuff is something that I've got to do. If I don't have a method, I'm just shooting in the dark. Oh, that's so good too, though. Oh, man, these are all good. These are all good. Do I just pick all 3 and just space them out over the course of a year? I don't know. We'll see. Ooh. Well, let me ask you guys this question. I'm going to go check out the poll here. All right, so the one in the middle is getting, and I definitely spoke that one up, or talked that one up. So as far as the poll goes, the middle one was oh no, the first one was the winner actually. 13453, which, yes, that's the middle one. Sorry, it like reorganizes them. That's not great. So here's what I'm thinking. Answer me this question. You guys are all avid whiskey drinkers. So you've had the normal stuff. People who just go out and buy a Jameson on a normal day are not the people who are going to be, sorry, quite glad I wanted to draw. Yeah, that was a good call, Steve. People who go out and buy Jameson are not the people who are probably going to go buy this whiskey because they aren't like in whiskey. So let me ask you guys this question. Would you rather have something that is wholly drinkable, as in you might have like 3 or 4 of them, or would you like to have something that is unlike anything else that you've tasted? Actually, yeah, there should have been more to that, but that was the question. Would you rather have something that you'll drink the whole bottle before you knew it, or that is unlike anything else that you've had before? Because I think those are these two. Whereas I'm about to have this third one more time. So let's see. Unlike anything else from Steven. Oh, that one's good. They're all just so good. I will say, I think the third one, the 13530, is actually probably going to get eliminated. Although it's very good. It's not up to the standard of these other two. So I'm actually even going to take that. I'm going to take that away. I'm making my mind at the moment, and I will reevaluate over the course of the rest of the night. Why not both? It's very possible that I could do both. They've told me that I could buy both. I want to spread, I want to cast more of a wide net. I don't want to do 2 Starward picks in 1 year. Maybe, but we'll see how the first one sells. Yeah. I had both the fortune and potentially curse of having that 3-quart bottle be fantastic, because at this point I'm hopeful that anybody buying a single barrel from me will expect a lot, and I want to deliver on that expectation. All right. I know a lot will say super unique, but for me, I really like something that's just a great representation and really enjoy sitting and drinking. Uniqueness is what I'm looking for. What I always look for in a single cask is density of experience, whether it's on or off profile hardly matters. And, cool. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes. So, okay, I'm going to take these 2 away. I'm going to make a decision based off these. My initial impressions are that I would probably go for the 13137 for its drinkability, but that 13453, like, I've literally never had another whiskey that did that to my mouth. However that sounds out loud. It's something unique, and that's interesting to me. So I'll have to see, but we'll see. Either way, look for this to be coming out in probably like a month or so. I have to get back to the guy, and it's going to be, I'm working with a new, not distributor, a new realtor, new fulfillment. That's the key word. Guy. So things might take a little bit longer, but you'll all know, I'm sure you'll know, and you'll definitely hear about it. Last thing I'll say before I sign off for the night. Next Friday, I am also going to be live streaming with fan favorite Nick, Nick from Found North Whiskey. He is giving me the batch 5 and 6 of his Found North whiskey, and it's going to be amazing. And him and I are also talking about potentially doing a single barrel. So if you guys are interested, I would love to have you there. He is a complete wealth of knowledge. So bring questions, because he will be the one who can answer them. When we do a live stream together, I pretty much just sit there and I'm like, talk more, because I'm learning so much. No matter how much I learn, he knows infinitely more than I do. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary. I had a great time. Let me know if you enjoyed this format, especially down in the comments if you're watching this in the future. Let me know if you like this format for doing barrel releases, because I would like to do this in the future. I found this entirely fun. Everybody go over to ADHD Whiskey's channel. He's about to do Matt Madness, and root for Clifton and Jason. I kind of have no other dog in the race, or horse in the race, dog in the show, whatever that phrase is. And have a great rest of your night. Cheers.